So I just pulled this article from the interweb talking about the four teams that have the capital and have the interest as far as Sean Marks and Kevin Durant, where possibly Kevin Durant could go to. And these four teams are the Phoenix Suns, the Miami Heat, that was from Kevin Durant's list, and the Toronto Raptors and the Golden State Warriors. Now, I feel like out of all four of these teams, and I talked about this in my last video as well as my live stream, that ultimately one or two things are going to happen. I feel like the team that has the most, even though the whole league will be interested in having Kevin Durant, I feel like the Golden State Warriors have the most to offer. That will please Sean Marks, the GM of the Brooklyn Nets. It will also please Kevin Durant because Kevin Durant has been there. He's very familiar with that organization. I know that Kevin Durant had some internal issues with the owner as well as with Draymond Green, but I think those issues will be resolved if the Warriors and Kevin Durant have an open mind and welcome each other with open arms. I've stated that from the beginning of when we found out Kevin Durant has issued a trade demand. Now, the second aspect of this answer is ultimately I feel like Kevin Durant, do not be surprised if Kevin Durant stays with the Brooklyn Nets. And the only reason why he will stay with the Brooklyn Nets is there's really the teams that he wanted to go to on that list just don't have enough to complete a deal for him to go to those teams, as well as maybe the owner will give Kyrie Irving a second thought. He will have, if Kyrie Irving is on his best behavior, plays the majority of the games, do not take a sabbatical in the middle of the season, and is playing for his livelihood, which is a max contract down the road, as well as he just lost his shoe deal with Nike. Maybe Nike comes back into the mix of things and say, we'll just, you've done a lot this season, so we're going to welcome you with open arms with another shoe deal. All of this stuff hinges on Kyrie Irving's performance, his desire, and his availability with the Brooklyn Nets. And who knows, maybe the Brooklyn Nets win a championship. I feel like a championship would really help the Brooklyn Nets organization. Sean Marks will be happy about that. Kevin Durant will be happy about that. And when everybody's happy, they would give Kyrie Irving what he wants, which is a max contract, and that will make Kyrie Irving happy, okay? But I feel like ultimately it's going to fall in one of those two directions. I know there's a slew of teams that are interested in Kevin Durant, but there's a slew of teams out there that don't have the draft capital. They don't have a bevy of young players that they have already cultivated and developed. And because of them trading for Ben Simmons, it makes life difficult for Brooklyn to get a young player in return because they have Ben Simmons on the roster, okay, because of the bylaws of the NBA. So if you look at that, there's only two choices, and there's really only two options. The Golden State Warriors giving up on their future which is their draft picks, give up on Poole, Kuminga, as well as other players on their roster that they've been trading, developing. They will have to give up on those players as well just to get Kevin Durant. Okay, yes, Kevin Durant is all that in a bag of chips, but I feel like one of the reasons why the Golden State Warriors won this year's title is because of the flexibility that they had on their roster. Okay, it was just not just only one guy. It was a bevy of guys contributing to the Golden State Warriors. Gary Payton Jr., which, by the way, signed a max deal with signed a contract with another team. It had more money in it. You can't blame him for that. Now, during this offseason, the Golden State Warriors have picked up some players along the way. But I felt like it was a community effort in why they won the title. Yes, Steph Curry contribute a lot, okay, and Draymond Green contribute also, but it was a community effort from the Golden State Warriors. It just wasn't one guy, and you're gonna give up all that just to get Kevin Durant back to that organization. Also, if he goes back to the Golden State Warriors, Kevin Durant and the owner, as well as the front office of the Golden State Warriors, are going to have to, both of these parties are going to have to open their minds and their eyes and their arms and, try to welcome each other. Kevin Durant had some stern comments about the Golden State Warriors organization, about the ownership, and Kevin Durant's going to have thicker skin, because his second time around if he goes to the Golden State Warriors, he's going to have to understand and be realistic, understand that no matter what type of achievements, personal achievements he do for the Golden State Warriors, he's never going to get the most shine or the most applause because he's not homegrown, okay? And I always use this analogy. Kevin Durant is the Johnny Gill of New Edition. Yes, Johnny Gill is the most talented member of New Edition, is the best singer, the truest pure singer of New Edition, but he's not going to get the most applause. He's not going to get the most popularity because he wasn't the original five. The original five is going to always, anyone from the original five is going to outshine Johnny Gill from the love, okay? And Johnny Gill accepts that and welcomes that with open arms, and Kevin Durant is going to have to accept that and have thicker skin and accept reality that no matter what he does, and if he wins the next 4 titles for the Golden State Warriors, nothing is going to change as far as the landscape of how much love they're still going to love. There are the homegrown guys, which is Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, and Draymond Green. All right, it's just the reality of it, okay? And I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why he left the Golden State Warriors, okay? But out of those 4 teams, I feel like Golden State Warriors have the most to orchestrate a deal, and the team that has the second most is the Toronto Raptors. But is Kevin Durant going to an unknown? And they're going to have to give up a lot of their talent that they have been cultivating and developing for the past couple of seasons via the draft, okay? So they're going to have to give up on some of those players. So is the Toronto Raptors willing to do that? I'm pretty sure they are, but is Kevin Durant is going to an unknown, just like he went to an unknown with the Brooklyn Nets with Kyrie Irving, and you see how that materialized for Kevin Durant. So yes, those are the 4 teams. I've told you guys there's only really 2 choices he's got. Either go to the Golden State Warriors or go back to the Brooklyn Nets, and that's really the only 2 choices at his disposal. All right, but guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.